Causes of loss of biodiversity. In this article, we will discuss the causes of loss of biodiversity. Loss of biodiversity is a major environmental problem that has been happening since the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century. There are many causes for it, but some causes are more prominent than others. Some causes include invasive species and deforestation. Loss of biodiversity caused by pollution. Humans have caused the loss of biodiversity on Earth due to pollution. The problem with this is that when we pollute, it causes many different animal species to become extinct and thus lose their diversity as well. As the environment becomes less and less hospitable, plants have to compete for limited resources. Pollution is one of many factors that contribute to these changes in our ecosystem, which can lead to the loss of biodiversity. Biodiversity has been steadily decreasing over time as we continue on this path towards a more polluted world with dwindling natural resources and rapidly growing populations. Pollution serves only to make matters worse by adding further stressors like chemicals found in pesticides or mining effluent from abandoned mines leaching into nearby waterways. Loss of biodiversity caused by agriculture. The loss of biodiversity is caused by the agricultural practices used to produce food. There is a lot of biodiversity on Earth that has been preserved for centuries. But it may not be around much longer as we continue to cultivate the land and destroy habitats in order to grow food crops. If humans want this planet's natural resources to last another few hundred years or more, then they need to look no further than our own backyards, where growing plants can help us keep them alive. Causes of loss of biodiversity. Loss of biodiversity caused by climate change. Climate change is rapidly reducing the world's biodiversity. Climate changes affect where and how animals can survive, causing them to migrate or die out completely. In just a few decades, we have witnessed some of our most iconic species disappear from vast regions as humans destroyed their habitats, but now it seems that these creatures face an even more significant threat: global warming, which threatens to wipe away entire ecosystems with consequences for all life on Earth. Climate change is robbing the world of its biodiversity in various ways, including changing weather patterns and altering habitats. Yet, in many cases, we lack data to fully understand the impacts on plant life and animal species all across Earth's varied ecosystems. Loss of biodiversity caused by deforestation. The trees of the forest provide a habitat for many different species, which are affected by deforestation. This can lead to an imbalance in natural ecosystems and eventually extinction of certain animals that cannot find another suitable environment. Without forests, there would be no biodiversity. It's as simple as that. A forestry specialist in Brazil named Carlos is studying the loss of biodiversity that results from deforestation. He believes that many more plants and animals go with it for every tree cut down due to a lack of sunlight reaching them underground or on top leaf surfaces. An excellent example of this happened when he saw how quickly the Cerrado became an unrecognizable wasteland after being cleared by cattle ranchers. In order to save our planet for future generations, we need to reduce the causes of loss of biodiversity. Loss of biodiversity caused by urbanization. Urbanization is the problem of our times. Once pristine natural habitats become cityscapes, a variety of plant and animal life are lost to buildings, cars, roads, electricity lines, all manner of infrastructure that we as humans require to thrive but which no other species needs or desires. Urban development has resulted in biodiversity loss. Once an expanse of green space becomes a concrete wasteland with little wildlife habitat left intact by the human footprint. To find greener and more livable spaces, many people opt to live in urban areas instead of rural ones. But it has been found that these communities have significant consequences on the natural world and humans themselves. As a result, biodiversity is being decreased or lost entirely due to new developments such as housing projects and highways, making space for cars rather than wild animals who lived there naturally before this disruption occurred. Loss of biodiversity caused by human activities. The human population is taking a toll on the environment by causing an increase in climate change and biodiversity loss. The depletion of biodiversity is a result of human activity. As the world continues to grow more technologically advanced, it seems that nature can't keep up, and as such, animal populations suffer from a lack of resources needed for survival or even just enough space to live on. One example includes when there are fewer trees. Animals have nowhere else. Still, the ground level to find food becomes scarce because plants don't get rainwater due to them being shaded out by other vegetation, which could be another tree. The human population is taking a toll on the environment by causing an increase in climate change and biodiversity loss. Causes of loss of biodiversity are important to know so that we can control them. Loss of biodiversity caused by disease causes. One of the many ways biodiversity is lost in ecosystems today is through disease. For example, one species can only survive with another for so long before they both die off from a contagious pathogen. One problem that has been on people's minds lately is how diseases cause the loss of diversity within an ecosystem. There has been plenty of recent evidence to show this as well. However, it isn't just humans who suffer when their environment becomes less diverse, because other animals and plants also do not thrive without enough variety around them either, and some even extinction altogether if something doesn't change soon. Causes of loss of biodiversity are hard to understand, but we all need to work together to control these causes.